About 8 years ago, almost 9 years ago, I was an undergraduate at UCLA Film School. And I had never made a movie, and I chose a documentary concentration. And basically, one of my really good friends at the time was Vietnamese. I'd become really involved with his family and his culture, and we decided to do a documentary in Vietnam. Actually, it was originally a feature film. I didn't even know documentary short films existed, and it was going to be about the street kids in Vietnam. And when I got over there, basically, we had to go through, get all the government approval in order to shoot the film. So, people kind of heard about us, and this TV producer approached us at our hotel and was like, listen, I get you guys want to make this film, but why don't you come with me to this camp, and maybe you're going to change your minds. And I went to this maternity hospital, and tucked away in the back was a care center for kids disabled by the chemical Agent Orange. I didn't even know what Agent Orange was. I had no idea. I was just had turned 21. And what I noticed was that these people would come into the camp and they would take photos of the kids. And I also, kind of takes you aback a moment because, the way I thought of disability was, you would assume maybe a missing leg or, kind of an amputation, but the disabilities and almost deformities were kind of very unnatural to me. So back to the point I was making is that I would see people come in and take photos of these kids and kind of use them as poster children for this chemical. But what I noticed about them is they loved soccer and they, just would have such a great time and never looked at themselves as different. I just kind of wanted to tell that point of view. And I ended up meeting Chau and kind of just took off from there. Well, I think that it's a matter of time. Like, it's funny because now, it's been a long time, but even about, I would say about a month in, no, less than that, maybe 2 weeks, because we didn't bring in cameras. We volunteered for 2 weeks. The way I show the film, I don't show you the worst of it. That's a whole nother story. But with Chau, it really only took me, you play soccer every day at 3 p.m. and you're like, oh, I'll take it easy. They're disabled. Oh no, you play full on because they play full on. And because they don't see themselves as different, it really rubs up. You don't really see them as different. It's funny because as I was editing this film, I forget that people, when I would show rough cuts to people, that Chau looks different. To me, he just looks like Chau. Every once in a while, when I would revisit footage, I was like, oh my gosh, like, he has a disability. I really mean that from the bottom of my heart. So with the film, I really wanted to try to show the way I saw them, which was just kids. With the other stuff that I don't show in the film that's almost hopeless, that's harder. That lives with you a little bit differently because there's not a lot you can do, and there's not a lot they can do for themselves. So that's a different emotional experience. But I think because I was so hands-on for so long, 2.5 months in 2007, I think I not became immune to it, but I don't really see it. I see them as, I don't know, it's almost like their disability defines them in a way. Like it just is part of who they are and not a setback. There's nothing negative about it to me. It's just part of their character. In 2007, I was very young. Again, I didn't make a movie, but I think I encouraged him a bit in that I really thought some of his drawings at the time when I really did realize kind of his disability were, good. But I tried to always step back. Like when he was with his family or, we lost contact more than once. I tried to kind of, Chau needed to find his own path and I couldn't be a crutch, I couldn't do that. So as I aged, I took, more and more of a step back. But I wouldn't say I ever fully encouraged him, like, you can do it, because I was completely unsure. And likewise, at the time, I was unsure if I could even make a documentary film, a film at all. So I was I probably related to him in the way that I had doubts of my own. Absolutely. Agent Orange was sprayed up until 1975 during the Vietnam War, and it's a humanitarian concern that many people think it's an issue of the past, but it's not. It's an issue of right now. It's a humanitarian concern that we can absolutely do something about. And we are doing something about it, and I really hope that the film continues to encourage our government to continue appropriating money to Vietnam to clean dioxin from the soil. In the next decade, we can be Agent Orange free in the hotspots of Vietnam, and I think we need to, really continue to help those affected by it who need help. If we make a mess, we should be responsible to clean it up. Or if we did something unknowingly would harm people, I think, we should take some responsibility in that. But I don't think that we should ever look at the past or try to change the past. You can't point fingers or do any of that stuff. We need to look at the future, look at what we can do and what we're doing now, and continue to do that until Agent Orange is cleaned up. I think that the nomination has really changed my life. At this point, the nomination has changed Chau's life, and I'm really just trying to enjoy this. If we won, it would just be an amazing bonus, and I would hope that it would bring the topic of Agent Orange to light a little bit more. Because many people, like I said, 8 years ago had no idea what it was. I was 21. Generations don't know about it. That would change the life of the cause. Chau's life's changed, my life's changed. Right now it's just a bigger issue. So if in the amazing case that we won, and there's so many, all the other 4 documentary shorts are absolutely unbelievable, and everybody's worthy in my opinion. But it would change, it would bring it to light, it would change, I really think that it would do something amazing to get Agent Orange cleaned up, and it would tell the stories of so many people affected by the chemical that no one knows about.